it's worth going to the words of a former Culture Secretary, Nadine Dorries, who has tweeted, "The public pay for the BBC. They have a right to know who this is and what happened and action taken." Does that pave the way for her or one of her ilk to say this presenter's name out loud in the Commons?
Well, it would first of all require Nadine Dorries to find her way to the House of Commons, because she hasn't actually spoken from there in over a year.
Her last hurrah.
Her last hurrah.
Accidentally walk into the Lords.
Despite having taken a parliamentary salary for the past year, she hasn't actually turned up to make any comment at all. So she'd have to first find her way there. But if she did, or if anyone did, MP X stands up and says, "I name this presenter as Bill Baggins," then every journalist in the country has the right to repeat that, because we have qualified privilege to report the events of Parliament. And so that name would then be out there.
And the key thing is about privilege is that an MP is not subject to libel or defamation law.
Whilst they're in the Commons.
If they said exactly the same thing, literally in
the Red Lion
pub just down the road, they'll be the same as everybody else. But within those four walls of the House of Commons, they can say whatever they like.
So why would they do it? This is the question, because there is, and I think we should sort of show our workings, there are people now asking us, and indeed a lawyer that we're about to speak to suggests that he thinks it's coming. People suggesting that this would happen. Maybe in the interests of transparency, maybe in the interests of, if you like, levelling the playing field. So it's not just people in the media or in the BBC that know the name, but it's the whole country. Or maybe there is a certain kind of animus, vitriol towards, BBC's staff or stars that could be exercised in this way.
Well, one party which would benefit enormously, of course, would be the Sun newspaper, because then they would be able to report in far more detail than they are currently choosing to do so. And we know that there are very close links between the Sun newspaper and Conservative MPs. It was notable in that first report that came out on Saturday. There are a whole ream of Conservative MPs expressing their disquiet, their concern. Dame Priti Patel, Dame Caroline Dinenage, the list is endless.
I mean, not just close, but actually employed by.
Often, yeah.
The Sun is obviously the sister arm to Talk TV, which employs, I think at last count, 3 or 4 Tory MPs on their own chat shows.
Exactly.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.